Welcome back to Carry On Vagabond.
Yeah, for those that don't follow us, I'm Dave, this is my wife Irene, and this is our dog Pistol.
The star of the show.
The best travel companion ever.
Yes.
And pain in the butt.
No. So today's video is going to be part 3 in a we don't know how many part series about this van. And for those that haven't been following us, we have been full-time in this custom van for a year. This is a Humble Road Carry On Vagabond custom creation.
Yep, George over at Humble Road built this, finished it last year, and we were there involved in the build process for the first, I think, 5 months. Got to do a lot of the work ourselves or with him, learned a lot.
Learned a lot.
He finished it up and we picked it up a year ago. We've been in it full-time for a year. When we designed this van, we were able to base the decisions we made on the previous 3.5 years. We were full-time in a road trek Zion SRT, and we traveled all across the country for 3.5 years in that amazing RV. And when it came time to build a new van, we worked with George, and based on our experiences, this is what we came up with. And if you follow us, you know that really our life is not about the van. It's just we just like to go places and the van gets us there. But we get so many questions about it, we thought we need to do some videos about the van. We did an initial van tour when we picked the van up a year ago, and kind of just overview the whole van. We'll put a link to that in the description. And then the first video of the series was about the mods we've done since we picked it up. The second was about our amazing garage.
Your pride and
full
joy.
of our toys.
Your baby.
Yeah. Those will be in the description below also. And so this video is, what's this video about?
This video is going to be about the systems we have on board, our battery system, our hot water system, our heater system, those kinds of things, and how they are working for us. And there's a million different ways to travel in a van, and these are kind of the systems that we chose that suit and accommodate our needs. So what works for one may not work for the other, but why don't we just get to it and show them what we got. We don't know a lot about these systems, but we'll just tell you what they are and how they work for us.
Where do you want to start? How about we start with what George calls the Big Mama Luke?
The Big Mama Luke.
Big Mama Luke. I'll go out back, you come in here, and we'll show them our battery electronic system.
Let's do it.
Ta-da! We took the mattress out obviously for video purposes. So does this give you flashbacks on it?
Yeah, all these holes.
We drilled every one of these with a hole saw. I routed each one inside and out. We sanded them.
Or like put a coating on it, yeah?
Yeah. So this is in 3 pieces, so you can access the components from the outside, or you can move them to access the Mama Luke.
The Mama Luke.
Get that out of the way. This is our entire battery electrical component system. This is the Freedom eGen 600 amp lithium system by Xantrex, and it's a beast of a battery, and Irene and I put that in there ourselves. It's very heavy. This is a Xantrex 3000 watt inverter, and then all of the battery management system, the solar charger controller, all that is under there. When George installed this, everything is labeled, everything is rock solid. He knew that we might, based on our travels, might hit a bumpy road once in a while, so it's really in there well and it's well protected. We chose this for several reasons, but probably the most important one for me was safety. It's the only UL approved lithium battery in the market, at least it was at the time when we built the van. And it's right under our bed, so we wanted the safest system we could have, and we wanted a very powerful, efficient, and proven system. So this is what we went for. The whole system is very simple. It's all one complete system. It's not, you know, I buy a battery, I'll buy a solar charger, I'll buy a battery management system, I'll buy a inverter. Everything is a system that all goes together by Xantrex. And we are not electricians. We just know that we wanted a van that we didn't have to plug in, we didn't have to have a generator, we didn't want to have to go to propane stations. The system works great. We have an air conditioner, and we can run it for hours off this system. And another thing that we did to assist with the charging is obviously we can charge it by solar or by plugging it in but we had a Nations alternator. It's a dual alternator system, 280 amp alternator. This alternator, anytime we're driving, charges the battery system. You can run the air conditioner for hours and maybe you get the battery down to 50%. Solar is going to charge it, but it's going to take a long time. We have 420 watts of Renogy solar panels on the roof, and they do a great job of slowly charging the battery. But if you run your air conditioner for hours and hours and hours, and in the evening, and the next day it's hot, your batteries haven't been charged. So you have to plug in, or for us, we can just drive the van to the next location, and when we get there, the battery is usually topped off again. So it's very efficient at charging the system. There was a known issue with the Nations alternator where the alternator belt was the tolerances to a radiator hose was very tight, and that caused a few issues on a few vans, and we had that on this van. We caught it in time, didn't cause any issues, and Nations has come out with a fix that greatly increased the distance between the belt and the hose. Once you have that system, it's really hard to go away from it. It's just nice to be able to be off grid and not worry about power. That's the battery system. And here is the water system. Don't you love the garage? I do. This is the water side of the van. This is an IsoTemp 4-gallon water heater, and we've covered it with some insulation. And this it can heat water electrically by turning an inverter on, and kind of a slow process. We've never done it, but apparently it takes a while to get hot. So what George installed was a glycol system that runs in and out of the water heater through coils. Glycol is in this reservoir, so when the van engine is running, there's a small little pump that pumps the glycol through these lines from the water heater to a heat exchanger in the engine, and steals free heat, comes back, and just continues to circulate through coils in the water heater, giving us free hot water. This system is completely separate from the engine system. There's a heat exchanger and it takes heat from it, but this system is not even the same antifreeze. This is a more supposed to be a pet-friendly antifreeze. I wouldn't want to test it, but that's what we have in here. So if there was a leak or something, maybe it wouldn't cause any issues. So it's a pretty simple system for us. We just drive. We have hot water. If we drive a couple hours during the day, we typically have water through the next day. So but if you're gonna be parked for a few days without running the engine, you'd have to, if you wanted hot water, you'd have to use the electrical system.
But I just wanted to show people what this looks like down here, because this is not seen unless you really get in here, but it's a work of art, honestly. George did all this.
The one amazing thing about this, that when we had our last van, we had an outdoor shower, and I use it all the time. I use it to wash Pistol off when she gets dirty, or I go out for a bike or a run. I come back and we're out in the middle of nowhere, I can take a nice hot shower, but I just never like trying to get the hot and cold adjusted. You're wasting so much water, and if you travel in a small RV, you know how precious water is. And I wanted something that when we turn the water on outside for the shower, it was close to the water tank, so there's not a lot of water in the lines to waste, and that it was just instantly bath temperature. So George decided to use a mixing valve, so when we turn on the water to the outdoor shower, the hot and cold combine. We set the temperature to a nice, comfortable bath temperature. It works perfect for giving Pistol baths and me.
Show us how this guy works.
This is the Aqua outdoor shower we've talked about in our last video.
We actually did a whole video on this. I'll put the link below if you really
but
want
basically, for those that haven't seen it, this is not aftermarket, but you can buy this one separately. It comes with just a straight one. You plug it in and water comes out, but we got this one so you can just plug it in. So now when you want hot water, that's already warm.
Yeah.
That fast. And we have just a regular water hose with a garden nozzle.
Yeah.
So we just put that on there and do our thing.
Yeah, this is great though. When you're done, you just and then that's it. There's no access. You can't get at the water. Like,
yeah, really happy with that. The other thing we should talk about is our heating system.
yes.
Okay. So our Webasto heater is behind our laundry drawer. So George did a great job of installing the heater outlet here, but the drawer still opens up so we can access
It's
it.
pretty slick. We actually have a laundry drawer. It's amazing, you guys.
It's amazing how much laundry fits in this drawer. It's.
Well, I have shoes in there too.
I'll just take it out so you can see it.
Okay. What do we got going on?
So this is the Webasto, I believe it's the Airtop EVO 40. It's the type that it doesn't matter what altitude you're at, it works anywhere. Apparently the smaller ones, it's maybe more size to the van, because this is I mean, this is designed for a much bigger space, so it works for the van, but it works really well for that. It eats up in a hurry, let's just say that. But we don't want to have something that doesn't work at altitude, because I mean, we just spent almost a month in Colorado when we were up at, you know, 8,000-10,000 feet in snow at one point. So I didn't want to be having to try to mess with something that doesn't deal with altitude. So anyway, that's why we chose this system. The biggest reason is we didn't want to have propane on board. Like we said, we have the induction cooktop. The Webasto just connects to fuel line, runs up and connects to the gas tank on the ProMaster just fine. You use minimal fuel. I mean, I don't think you could tell. I mean, you don't even notice with your fuel mileage what's going on. It's nice. It's out of the way. It's fairly quiet. It's definitely quieter than the old propane heater we had on our road trek. But anyway, I really like it.
The only issue we have had is we've scrambled its brains a couple times and had to reset it.
Yeah, at least we think so. What happened is it just wouldn't turn on one day in California. We were in Napa and it was cold and it just wouldn't work. And
there was no error code.
yeah, there's this is the thermostat up here. As you can tell, it's a warm day here in Oregon. We're at her brother's house outside of Forest Grove. But there's no error codes, and we contacted the Webasto, great customer service, and they couldn't figure out why, if there's no error codes, why it's not working, because the system is designed to show what could be the problem. So they said it probably needs a factory reset, which was a process. We did a video on it. You can probably find that. It's pretty easy, but it's we have to pull a fuse, and she has to turn it off and on. Well, I put the fuse in, take the fuse out. Anyway, you do this sequence, and it's happened a couple times now, and it's easy to fix, but we're only assuming that, because we don't use the heater very often, we're assuming that every once in a while you're trying to remember which button to hit for what, and I know for scrambling its brain, which it shouldn't be that complicated. It shouldn't be that picky.
Sensitive.
So we're just assuming that's the issue. We don't really know. We just know it happens, and they don't know why it happens, but it doesn't sound like a common thing. But we did have someone that watched the video and said that it happened to them, and the video got them back on the road with some heat. So we're happy that that helped someone. So anyway, that's the heating system. It's pretty simple. We don't have to think about it. We just have a thermostat set. And
yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So we did install a Dometic air conditioner. It's a pretty inexpensive one, but we knew we weren't going to use it very often. There are more efficient ones now and quieter ones now. If we were using it more often, I would definitely change it. But the only thing I would do different is this model does come with a thermostat, but we just use it so rarely. I thought if it gets too hot, we'll turn it on for a while and turn it back off. But in hindsight, I probably would have installed the one with the thermostat. But I know it can be done aftermarket. I just haven't done it, and I probably won't do it. Anyway, it's just a Dometic air conditioner. We're having any issues with it. It works great.
Yeah.
So, what else are we talking about? How about right here?
Our fridge.
This is the beast of a fridge. Irene says, I want the biggest fridge I can get for an RV in the van. So
yeah,
this is the NovaCool. I think it's RFU 9000. It's 9.1 cubic feet. We really liked it because the Road Trek has an amazing refrigerator freezer. And well, it's not a great freezer. The freezer was very small and it was inside. So to access the freezer, you had to open up the fridge, and it had to be defrosted a lot. So we wanted something where the fridge and the freezer were separate. I have ice cubes, and it's huge. That's my arm all the way in the back. So yeah, it's a beast of a fridge. Oops, it's kind of messy.
Oh, well, it's full.
It's full.
It's always full. It's never not full.
It's always full.
And it currently needs defrosted, but...
Yeah, don't judge if you saw that. We're in some hot weather here, and we're late in defrosting it, but it happens. Those of you who live in a RV and travel full time, you know what I mean.
Yeah, you have to time and figure out and plot and plan to defrost your fridge.
Yeah, we can't pull everything out when it's 90 degrees out and defrost it.
Into my domain.
Yeah.
This is my area.
She cooks inside, I cook outside.
Yeah, that is how that works, right?
Teamwork.
So we have this 2-burner NutriChef induction. I love it. I do have 2 pans that actually fit on here side by side, which is great. One thing that I do not love about it is when the inverter is on, sometimes this will just randomly come on, or if you have something hot here, it will turn the burner on. So you do have to be mindful if you're not cooking and the inverter is on, because this is powered on. I do really love it though.
Yeah. I don't like how slippery it is.
So if we are parked on an incline or decline,
it doesn't take much.
No, the pan is here. So you have your coffee pot or whatever, your tea kettle, and you've got it warming. It will just slowly slide. So you kind of have to watch it. But I mean, it's not even a big deal. It's just part of van life, right?
I guess.
What else do we need to talk about?
I guess the composting toilet.
Yeah, we can talk about the composting toilet.
Okay.
So we have the Nature's Head composting toilet. It's in a wet bath, and we leave it in while we take a shower, and have not had a problem with that at all. It's kind of a love-hate relationship with me and the Nature's Head toilet.
There's things we love about it and things we don't like about it. And I think it would take this would make this video an hour long to go over it. So I think we'll just have to do a whole separate video on the composting toilet and the things that we like about it and things we don't like, what we'd change. But for now, it's nice that we can go a couple weeks before we have to change it, and it doesn't have to be that day. When your black tank's full, it's over, you're done. You got to find a place. Here it's like, well, we need to find a place to dump this next couple days. So there's good things about it, but I do think a whole video. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do that.
Not that I really want to talk about toilets for a whole video, but I think it's important.
Yeah, I mean, people would like to know.
Yeah,
especially people that are building.
Things after living in a van full time for a year with it, the things that we've learned and
again, this is just our experience. Like,
yeah, everyone has different experiences. You can watch all kinds of videos about this, the Airhead. There's different ones, but we do have a couple of friends that are building vans right now in Washington State, and he's actually trying to design a composting toilet that kind of solves most of the problems people talk about. So I'm hoping that works out. We'll let you know.
Yeah, so, stay tuned for that.
What else? I think
I don't know.
This is we probably should talk about this. This is the how simple our battery system is. Looks like we're low on water, huh?
We are low on water. Today's the day for that.
So this is all we have to deal with our whole battery system. Is we don't have to mess with anything, nothing. The solar does its thing on its own. The alternator does its thing on its own. All we do is make sure that the battery isn't too low. And let's bring the light on. You can see we are at what? I can't.
90%.
90%, which is pretty standard. We were full at bedtime last night, and it's like 99 to 100%. Flashes off and on there. And when it's hot out like it is now, and the fridge runs a lot at night, it'll drop it down to about 90, 91-ish. When it's running a lot. But with 420 watts of our solar panels, without running the air conditioner or the induction very much, by this evening, that would be back to 100. So our solar is bringing in more than we're using just with daily use, because there really isn't a whole lot with the LED lights and that sort of thing. So,
no, yeah.
But I like the fact that we just have to, it's good. We've never turned it off, never had to mess with that. It tells you way more information that I need to know.
This is our inverter, which I'm going to turn off now, which then turns this off. So now this is, and we only turn that inverter on when we're using it, which we just made coffee, so we had that on. But
yeah, I mean, the inverter is only used for this and the air conditioner. So, but that's the entire control panel for everything. This system does so much, and for real you know, people like to nerd out on this kind of stuff. I mean, it comes with a Bluetooth. It comes with a
tablet.
Yeah, tablet. And we're like, I just like
so
this.
far we haven't needed it.
So far we haven't needed it, because if we did need it, we wouldn't know what to do with it anyway. But
that's, I mean, honestly, about this van, everything has been so easy to just...
Yeah.
I don't want to learn about this stuff. It's not my thing. I just want to get out there and have some adventures and have things work, you know? And that's exactly what this does. So that's it in a nutshell. So coming up, I think we will do a video on the composting toilet, and also maybe about the layout and build decisions that we made, why we put the windows where we did.
You live in a van for 3.5 years. We kind of knew exactly how we wanted it laid out, where we wanted the windows, and why we wanted there. The awning, why I chose this awning, how I mounted this awning, that kind of stuff. So
those will be further down the line. We've got some places to go, people to see, adventures to...
Yeah, we gotta get that kayak back in the water. So
yeah, let's do that. We'll see you down the road.
Carry on.
Carry on.